Good day to everybody here. It's good day. It's Saturday. Hello, everybody. How's it going? I'm your host, as always, Squall Charleston, and this week I'm with Malinus.
Hi.
How's it going, man?
Good.
Cool. We had a pretty exciting week here in news, in Tokusatsu news.
Both good exciting and bad exciting.
Let's start with the bad exciting. How's everybody else doing? Welcome. If you guys have never been here before, or if you have, you'll know that at the top of the screen there is a link. It's also down in the description. Go to that link. You can put in your questions, and we'll look at some of those and answer some of them, hopefully to the best of our extent, in between the little breaks that we'll have coming up. All right, let's kick it off. Kamen Rider Gaim's Tsurinori Aoki arrested again for indecent assault. So if you guys remember the story last time, apparently this happened yesterday on April 20th. He was arrested for indecent assault on an unnamed woman. This incident occurred on the exact same night as his previously reported incident assault on March 4th. So Aoki is suspected of putting his hand inappropriately in a woman's skirt this time. Notably, this woman is different than the one in the previous incident, and also the incident took place after it. So he went from groping to, like, trumping. Aoki reportedly stated that he was drunk and doesn't remember it. And I thought I got a little out of hand when I got drunk, but this is a gross new level. Ooh.
Yeah, we were talking about that just a little while ago. This definitely seems like a very poor excuse.
Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, oh, sorry, what?
And also, last time someone made the "when life gives you lemons" joke. Apparently, he's going by the Cave Johnson version of that, which is burn everything down with those lemons.
I mean, it's crazy to find out that there's like more to the events that happened that night, and I could understand him coming back from the first incident. After obviously like apologizing and kind of like cleaning up his act, but like kind of going from that to that, like this is a little bit worse even, obviously, but like it's weird that it didn't happen on separate nights, that it was all on the same night. That kind of makes it all that much harder to swallow. But yeah. Whew. Kids, stay away from the alcohol. All right, let's move on to some other bad kind of good news. We wanted to start that off to kind of get that out of the way, to kind of push things up a little bit. So this is kind of bad news, but also kind of good news. So we have Hiroshi Fujioka. Did I say that right? I suck at this. Was involved in a minor traffic accident. So this took place on April 18th. While driving his car, he collided with the taxi, causing a slight neck injury for the other guy, the taxi driver, who was in his 20s. When he was speaking with the police, Fujioka had said that I paused and proceeded slowly, but we still collided. So Fujioka left without injury. According to the reports, there was only a stop sign on the side of the road rather than a traffic light. And I saw somebody in the comments earlier saying, like, is he a real cyborg? Like, he's like, it's funny, like when we interviewed Ben Furia, he kept calling himself the Japanese James Dean, and like the more that he said it, the more I was like, yeah, actually I can kind of see that. I think now Fujioka is the Japanese Harrison Ford, where he like gets into these like scuffles and these accidents. Like Harrison crashed his plane, walked away from it. So that's my thing for today. All right, now let's move into the really cool news. So if you guys like movies, if you like adaptations, we have not one, but two amazing ones that we just got some more like trailers and news for. The first one is the new trailer was put online for the Bleach live action film. And if you see that picture there, he looks a little familiar. That's because that is Sota Fukushi, who played Kisari Gentaro on Kamen Rider Force. He's playing the main character, Ichigo Kurosaki. So the official website for the upcoming live action film adaptation of the Bleach manga streamed a new trailer. This new trailer previews both the film's theme songs, Mosquito Bite, and its featured song, Milk, that are performed by my favorite Japanese band, Alexandros, formerly known as Champagne, which is really hard to Google search back in the day, so they changed it, and I'm glad. So Forze making a great comeback. Like, this guy is really fastly like going up there in terms of public awareness, just kind of like the guy that's going to be in our next story. But other people that are joining him are Hana Sugisaki, who was from Rin from Blade of the Immortal, Mary from Mary and the Witch's Flower, Sayaka from When Marnie was there, and she'll be playing Rukia, as well as Miyavi, who will be playing Gunpei, who was Gunpei Inkari from Kong Skull Island, will be portraying Bayuka Kuchiki. We should have somebody else do this. We should have you read the names. And then another notable entry on this is Ryo Yoshizawa. If you guys know, that was Rusei, who was Kamen Rider Meteor from Forze, so it's good that they kind of like are back together again, and he'll be playing Uryu Ishida. But the coolest thing about this is Shinsuke Sato, director of the live-action Gantz film series, which is one of my favorites, as well as the I Am a Hero and Death Note Light Up the New World, which are both amazing movies, is helming this film. Moreover, the film will revolve around the Substitute Shinigami arc, the manga's first arc that ran its first to the 8th volume. So this is set to release in theaters July 20th this year. Oh man. So speaking of Sato, he also did this film that's coming, or just actually came out yesterday, that I am super excited for, that I did not know even existed until this morning. And I am now like uncontrollably like trying to pinch my pennies so I don't just hop over to Japan just to watch this. We have the live action Inuyashiki movie, and it won an International Film Award. So earlier this month at the Brussels International Fantastic Film Festival, the live-action adaptation of the manga Inuyashiki won the Golden Raven Award at the event's international competition. The film, which was announced back in December, obviously I missed that, just before the finale of the anime aired, will begin screening in Japanese theaters yesterday. Oh, you guys, it's only $500 for a plane there and back. It might be worth it. The story revolves around a down-on-his-luck salaryman played by Noritaki Kinashi, and a psychopathic student played by Takeru Sato, who was Kamen Rider Den-O.
That's who that is.
Yeah, he's been in a lot of great stuff. The two come to odds with one another after they are involved in an unearthly accident, which results in both men being remodeled and giving extraordinary abilities. The anime is crazy. I hate the last episode, but everything about it's crazy. So Sato, who is best known for portraying Yotaro in 2007's Den-O during its initial run, he's also gained fame for starring roles in Beck and the Rurouni Kenshin trilogy and numerous other drama series. So it's like you be in Kamen Rider, and you got a pretty good chance of continuing on. Sentai, not so much, but
specifically in live action anime for some reason.
Yeah. Oh man, I know we can't show the trailers here, but both the Bleach trailer and this trailer look amazing. But this is directed by the same guy as the Bleach film. He did this one first, and then he did the Bleach, and then he also did the Gantz. If you haven't seen Gantz, have you seen that, Melanus?
I'm guessing it's another anime movie.
Yeah, so Gantz was like a very mature manga that got adapted into a very mature anime. And there was a lot of like speculation of like how mature it was going to be for the movie, because they were going to make a two-parter movie series on it. And they surprisingly still made it horribly violent, which is really enjoyable to watch. Mostly because it's like these people fighting aliens, which I don't want to spoil it, but basically all these people that die end up in a room together, and then they're tasked by this giant orb named Gantz to go hunt these alien creatures, and it's a life or death thing. Was that?
Sounds about right for anime.
Yeah, it's super fun. It's super good. One of the other characters that we have in this has been in pretty much every single other film he's done too. So it was nice to see him in the trailer. All right, you guys. Moving on to everyone's favorite part. Who the hell is that? Tokuman. I don't know why I was clapping there. Let's see. Let's answer some questions. Are you down for that?
Sure.
Let's see. Here's a fun one. What do you think will be the next Sentai theme?
Anything.
Anything and everything. It's like TokuJir Volume 2.
Well, you know what? I was gonna say, when it comes to writer motifs, you really can't guess these days. We've had fruit. I'm not guessing anymore on writer. But
no.
Sentai maybe usually repeat stuff. Maybe we'll have more animals. Maybe dinosaurs. Maybe cars.
I was gonna say the exact same thing. Like we're due for another dinosaur series. If I had to say like an honest answer, that's also kind of a joke answer, but knowing Japan and knowing Sentai, that they might consider doing something as weird as this, condiments. I've had that idea for years. Like, obviously ketchup is the leader. You got mustard, you got mayo, you got relish, you got condiments. Sentai.
Yeah. You gotta figure out something for Blue, because there's always a Blue Ranger.
Oh my gosh, yeah. What would Blue be? Like whipped cream? Because he comes in a blue bottle? Like, that could be the joke?
Maybe just water.
Well, I guess.
It's a bit of a cheat.
Oh man, what would Blue be? Chat, gotta give me an idea for Blue. So we got ketchup, we got mustard, we got relish, we got mayo. What would Blue be? Are you looking up Blue condiments?
No.
Oh, okay. I heard you typing it on. Cool. Let's see. Here's a fun one. Do you think that Toku is growing in popularity in the U.S.? Yes. I definitely think so.
Based on one of the news articles we'll probably talk about.
Yeah, I'm saving that one for last, just so everybody doesn't just dip out and. No, definitely. I think that the awareness, like being in the golden age for like digital media as we are right now, and kind of continually pushing forward, it's easier to find fan subs. It's easier for these companies to realize that they make a lot of money when they sell. Like, I'm talking about like Shout Factory and the Sentai seasons. And even, of course, like with some streamable services like Crunchyroll with Ultraman and Amazon's with, we'll get to that later.
Yeah, I was going to say, I feel like I might have mentioned this when we were talking with George before, but I was saying it's kind of interesting how, Sentai's got a connection here because of Power Rangers, so it makes sense for them to put out DVDs here. I don't know what Ultraman has that justifies bringing it over, but it's cool that it's here.
Definitely. And there's like so many other, like, I just released a new video last night that highlights another show that's kind of in the Tokusatsu vein. It's called Mech X4. Have you ever seen that?
Oh yeah, I saw the video you did.
Oh, okay, cool. Thanks. But yeah, like there's a lot of like more leaning towards that, especially because superheroes are so prominent. And like, you think about like Super Sentai and you think about Kamen Rider, like these guys have been superheroes since the 70s on screen, and now that it's becoming like the norm and kind of popular, we're starting to see them a little bit more and more here and there. But yeah. All right, did anybody guess who this is? I guess I really wasn't paying attention. Oh yeah, some people say Shaida. I haven't watched much Metal Heroes. I can kind of see Gavin there, to be honest. Yeah, I kind of made it a little bit easier, but that is Space Sheriff Gavin. Yeah.
To be honest, I thought it was going to be one of Black RX's forms, and you were going to say it's a Masked Rider form.
Oh, no. Remember, the first ones are easy.
Right.
All right, let's move on. Mirai Sentai Time Ranger announced for DVD by Shout Factory. Hey, we were just talking about that.
Indeed.
I love this image because it basically, like, I made the joke on Twitter, like, is this Lupin versus Pot Ranger? According to Shout Factory, Mirai Sentai Time Ranger will be released in Region 1, that's us, DVD on July 31st. This will mark the 9th release of Super Sentai by the Shout Factory. No word was given on any additional special features involving a look back with other Super Sentai series during the season will be included. The pre-order price is currently at around $60, but of course that's subject to change, especially if you order on Amazon. It'll go down I think there's another website you can buy from. Like, I think if you buy it directly from them, you get it like a week or two early. So that's always cool. So if you haven't seen it before, Time Ranger is the 24th entry in the Super Sentai franchise, and it aired from 2000 to 2001. Follows the story of 4 heroes from the year 3000 who are stuck in the year 2000 as they recruit their 5th member and battle against the evil Don Dolanero. Time Ranger was adapted in 2001 by US by Insabrand Entertainment as Power Rangers Time Force. The previous seasons, of course, are Jew Ranger, Die Ranger, Kaku Ranger, O Ranger, Ka Ranger, Mega Ranger, Gingaman, and Go-Go 5 are all available on DVD now. I don't know about you, but this might be the first one that I buy. I've been like putting off buying the Shout Factory DVDs myself just because I'm not a DVD collector anymore. It's like it's like a principle now, is I don't buy DVDs because they've been the inferior brand since like they were released basically. And Blu-ray and 4K are amazing, but this might be the first one that I buy just because I've never actually finished this season. There's all these different subgroups that have done like the first 20 episodes, and I've never been able to find like a full good quality one that's not like Hong Kong subtitles. So this I already pre-ordered this. This is the first one that I'm going to buy. I might go back and get the other ones too. Like I might get Go-Go 5 just because I really like that season. And Gingaman. That's probably one of my favorite 90s.
I've had both Kaku Ranger and Gingaman recommended to me, and those happen to be on DVD, so maybe.
Gingaman, I would definitely recommend. Like the first episode is amazing. If you can get past the weird intro with the horses, oh my god, it's a good show.
I'm also really interested to see what they do with some later stuff, like Shinkenger has a Kamen Rider crossover episode.
Yeah, they got the 2 of them actually. That's how I got into Kamen Rider.
I kind of hope that by the time they get to that, there will be precedent for them to include it.
Well, I mean, they are picking up their pace too, which is nice because I think it would definitely, as soon as they catch up or like get relatively close to catching up, because 2000 was when this aired, and that's when Kamen Rider came back. It would be nice if we got like 1 or 2 of each season a year. Like first quarter would be a Sentai release, second quarter Kamen Rider release, third quarter another Sentai release, fourth quarter release another Kamen Rider, and they could like alternate back and forth to catch up to the recent ones.
Oh, that would be really good.
Yeah, I got business strategies, but again, I don't know like what all goes on behind the scenes, and I know that they only release stuff that Japan has already previously released, which is kind of cool because once we start catching up to like, I think Bokanger was the first one that was aired in HD. Yeah, Maji Rangers was the last, and then Bokanger was the first one in HD, like it had a widescreen format. And I think they're releasing Go Onger on Blu-ray, but they already have Shikanger on Blu-ray, and that's the earliest Blu-ray releases they have. So I wonder when they catch up to those, will we actually get some good Blu-rays? But like, I don't know. I mean, they could easily put these on Blu-rays too. I was talking to Jeff Burns about this. Like, they could easily, instead of like 10 discs or however many discs, they could put it on like 2 or 3 discs just because you have more space. Even if it doesn't up the quality, you can put more of the episodes on like 2 discs. But
I wonder if that would affect the price.
It might actually make it a little bit cheaper, like $60 for the whole thing. It could like turn it down to like 40. I mean, just because like they don't have to print off. I guess DVDs are inferior too, so they're less expensive to mass produce. But like at the same time, you don't have to buy the big bulky cases. You could fit them in a normal jewel case that has like the 2 on one on each side. Anyway, but yeah, that's the first one that I pre-ordered, and I'm probably like gonna go get Gingaman at some point just to rewatch that one again because I like that one. All right. Moving on to other stuff you should buy, we're looking at the SH Figuarts Kamen Rider Rogue. It was revealed. Kamen Rider Rogue depicts Kamen Rider Build's 4th rider. The figure comes with alternative hands, 2 for each wrist, the Nebula Stream Gun, 2 types of steam blade parts, and the gear engine and gear, am I saying this right, Remocon?
Yeah, that works. It's like remote control.
Oh, Remocon, okay. Again,
Japan likes to combine words.
yeah, because that's kind of like the motif of the show is combining. Um, I'm catching up, you guys. I'm give me another week or two, and I'm gonna be caught up on build. So this product is available for pre-order right now for around 6,264 Japanese yen, and is expected to ship on September. And then another one we have is the SH Figuarts Kamen Rider Gen God Maximum Gamer. This is from, wait, what was that saying? From X8 Another Ending. So this figure comes with alternative hands, 2 on each wrist, and a Gashikan key slasher. It's available for around 10,000 Japanese yen and is expected to ship in September 2018. That's, oops, I didn't change those images. My bad. Just picture those being there. I've been very busy today, so just here. That's what it's supposed to look like. He's the really ugly, bulky thing. So yeah. And then our last thing you should buy is the Godzilla Kigurumi. The Heisei Godzilla measurements include about 150 centimeters in length. You can read all this on the website. It's pretty standard size if you have one of these or if ever bought one of them. I personally have a chipmunk one. It's made out of 100% polyester fleece and will be available for around 5,940 Japanese yen. Yeah, I know, wrong picks. I'm sorry. All right.
Hey, you know what? You should definitely zoom in on that Godzilla one just to look at its face.
Oh, I've seen it.
Looks,
Like it was originally on the oops. Here, let me.
looks like he ate someone,
Well, he's eating her right now.
and he looks very displeased with it.
She looks very happy. Maybe she doesn't taste good. I don't know. Let's see. Here we go. We can zoom in on this one right here. Just hang tight, everybody. Let's see. Oh my gosh. I know you won't be able to see it, Melanie, but like on the stream, if you have it pulled up, you'll see. Does it breathe fire? That is the Mondo expensive one, but this one does not. Anyway, I like when they have the back things on them, but like I've noticed that sometimes if you're like sitting a bunch of times in it, they get like folded one way and they never go back. So
just like in this image.
Yep. All right, we're moving on to the last and probably hardest. No, this isn't the hardest one. Who's that Tokuman? All right, let's see, what kind of questions do we got? Here's a good one. This is from PokeGold. He kind of says kind of contains a spoiler for Ready Player One, but considering a Kamen Rider actor, if you've seen Double, he's the guy that was in the Heaven's Tornado episode, appeared in Ready Player One as a main character and will most likely be back for the sequel. Do you think an actual Kamen Rider is likely possible to be in the said sequel? If so, which one and why? I would say perhaps Ichigo, the first one, just because, I don't know, he's classic. Kind of like
Sanshiro?
What?
Can he be Segata Sanshiro?
Who's that?
You were talking about the original Kamen Rider actor, so I assumed you meant.
Oh, like could he actually play him?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess, yeah.
That's what he played.
I think that'd be kind of cool. But I think like they mean like within the game, if they actually had like a Kamen Rider avatar or character.
I mean, XA would make sense in a game.
Yeah, but I don't know. You have to remember that this is in the future after everyone has forgotten about X8 by now. Just kidding. That probably
then
never
XA would
happened.
be nostalgic.
I guess. But I feel like the way that Build's going, that more people are going to remember Build than X8 at this point.
Probably.
But I feel like nostalgia factor, it would either be Kamen Rider 1, Kamen Rider Black, Kuga, or even like Decade. But I don't see why they would put Decade in there. So I'm gonna just go back to those three. Those are the three greats. There was no Leopardon. Yeah, there was no Leopardon in the movie. Have you seen that yet, Melanis?
Nope.
Oh my gosh. You guys, I got a T-shirt the other day. I went to go see like 3 movies in the theaters, and like my theater I went to, they sold Ready Player One T-shirts, and it was $5 off. It's pretty comfy.
Nice.
Yeah. Um, let's see. Let's do. Do you know what mini plus are?
Yeah, those are the candy toy model kits for
Is that what they're
Sentai.
called? Okay. So, what super mini pla would you like to see made? I would love to see the Gekirin Toja, one of the best looking mechs of all time. So they're like the little gashapon toys?
Candy toys.
Okay, okay.
Yeah, I've actually got 3 of the Q Ranger ones.
Oh man, if I could like have like a mini version of like one of those. I don't know, I'm really partial to the Battle Fever J mech. I forget what it's called. I really like.
I mean, that's an option because one of the ones that has been released is the Live Man mecha, Live Robo.
Ooh, or like somebody else said in the chat, Leopardon. Yeah, Spider-Man represent.
Oh man, which one? Well, one of the ones that I would want to see is actually happening now because they've announced Kaku Ranger stuff.
That'd be cool. I need to watch Kaku Ranger. Like, I have a friend that is obsessed with it. Like, he swears by it. Like, one time, he like came over to me at a convention and like we talked for like 5 minutes, and then I went back to like doing whatever I was like at the table that we were sitting at, and I like looked back over at him, and he had his phone propped up, and he was watching the YouTube video of their roll call, like doing it like perfectly, and I'm like, what is going on? But he really likes Kaku Ranger, and it kind of makes me I beg your Leopardon. Yeah. Here's one that we can kind of talk about. So not exactly a question, but you guys should make your own Discord server. I agree. The thing is that we used to be on Slack. So this is kind of a little bit behind the scenes. I hope I won't get in trouble for saying this, but nobody will be able to add it if they weren't a part of the group already. What?
You know what? I think the TokuNet podcast did reference Slack at some point.
Okay, cool. Haha. But we're no longer on Slack just because Slack, we share a lot of files, we share a lot of images. Obviously, there's news breaks, and it was a way to quickly kind of communicate with one another. But that got really expensive because they have, for like $30-$40 a month, you get X amount of space, and then we fill up that space really quickly because even like just like messages that we send to one another. So it just became really much of a hassle. So we've actually moved our operations to a Discord now, which is really cool, really exciting. I had to go through and mute like 20 different channels because I kept getting like updates when I was working on stuff. But I think, yeah, we should have like a public one, like where we can post those stories. But again, it kind of defeats the purpose of the main site and what it is supposed to be, which is kind of that thing. But it would be nice to have like a little ticker or something that like updates that you could like go on Discord and you can see like a little with a new news story on it that you could click through, kind of like an RSS feed. We'll think about that. I think that would be good. We would definitely need somebody to like manage it, and it would just become like another extension of like posting on social media. But I think that would be a good idea. We'll talk to Nicole about that. I think that would be cool. Right. Let's see. One more. Let's do one more. Here's a fun one I was thinking about earlier. This is from Alan. If you could cross over one Power Rangers series with its Super Sentai counterpart with all the resulting language confusion, which would you choose? He said he would like to see Kyoryuger versus Dino Charge with the Dino Force Brave cameo. Because dinosaurs are even better when doubled. That's way too many Rangers on screen. Holy crap.
I appreciate the idea.
Yeah. Do you have any that like pop in your mind?
I kind of, I guess you know what? I don't know if it deserves it, but maybe Ninja Steel with Ninja.
Okay. Why do you say that?
Because I've heard bad things about Ninja Steel. I don't know. I think it deserves a crossover.
It's pretty bad. Compared also with like Ninja, I think Ninja is better, even though that one's like widely regarded as one of the worst Sentai seasons.
Oh yeah, when I was watching through it, I was just at some point I was just like, okay, this is about the point where I saw a lot of people getting really mad at the show. What happens? And I was still enjoying it by the end. It's like,
It,
wait, wasn't there supposed to be something people were mad about?
but were you watching it every week though? That was the problem. Is that
um,
a lot of
well,
these
by the time
shows like if you watch them all at once, you can kind of overskirt that and you don't think about it too much.
okay, so that's how I overcame it.
Yeah, I watched it week to week, and then I did an entire like week binge of it just to like rewatch it again for like Ninja Steel casting and whatnot. I was like collecting clips for like training, a little behind the scenes there. So I would just like I watched the entire show again, and I like didn't mind it the second time. Like I obviously knew things that made me angry and whatnot were still kind of present, but like the other problems I had with it kind of disappeared. Um, I have
You know
two.
what?
Oh,
Here's a crossover. Go Kaiser and Super Mega Force.
that
Just
would be
go
interesting
nuts.
because they would beat
Get
up Troy
everyone.
so bad. Like, what are you even doing? Um, I have two answers for this. I have a joke answer and a real answer. The joke answer being RPM and Go Wanger, just because they're so drastically
Oh,
different
I
that.
was thinking that too.
But like again, Megaforce and Gokaiger or Super Megaforce and Gokaiger would be a very good one too, because they're such a stark contrast there. Um, but my real answer would actually, I mean, obviously yes, they did this back in Abba Ranger and Dino
Oh yeah.
Thunder, but I would have the new series of Beast Morphers with Go Busters. That the Go Busters could be like the Japanese branch that of basically what they're doing, and you could kind of
Oh,
like
well, that's
have,
actually kind of clever.
yeah, you could have like other branches across the world. So like obviously they're gonna have a Brazilian dub of Go Busters if they don't already. So if they wanted to like do a Brazilian dub of Power Rangers, and sometimes they change footage, they might even like take that Mighty Morphin step and put their own actors into it. And I don't know, you could just create like a little universe, like this little like that's the problem I have with Power Rangers and also Super Sentai. Like they're all pocket universes, which the comic series that's going on right now kind of explains this. Instead of being a timeline, they're all like individual universes. So like you could have this one where all these people are together, and I don't know, you don't have to do anything with it. It would just be like a fun idea, cool idea. Again, this is all dependent upon what Beast Morphers actually is and how.
I have a rule for that crossover you just proposed because that's a cool idea.
Mm-hmm.
My rule is that the Japanese one has to be represented by that one Animal Sentai Go Busters movie.
Oh yeah, where they have like the little horns that they glued onto the helmets.
Black Puma.
Yeah. Oh man, there's so many good things that they could do with Beast Morphers, and I'm making a video on that, and that may be my next one that I put up next Friday. We'll see how much time I have to record it because it's gonna be a doozy. It's basically me like pitching how I would adapt it. But anyway, let's get back to this. Who's that Shukuman? Now, I didn't see anybody in the chat. Um, didn't see anybody in the chat guess. Oh, someone actually did. Someone
Oh,
actually did. Someone watched my video. Yeah, nice. It's the toy that Toys R Us that's collecting dust. It's the Lion Fortress sword, Lion
ah,
Howl, from Ninja or Ninja Steel. You know, the $100 toy that they expected to just fly off the shelves, and they did.
they thought it would be a steal.
They flew off the shelves into the back room, and then they flew back onto the shelves, where they're still sitting even at 50% off. Uh,
Oh, Bandai.
it's an interesting idea that like one of their action figures can sit in the Megazord, and then the Megazord can sit in another Megazord. But it's like, where does it end? Anyway, on to the last news piece for this episode. And we put this one at last just because if you guys didn't already know about it, you wouldn't just leave. Kamen Rider Amazons is now available, yes, in English on Amazon Prime. The title's a little messy. It's English subtitled. So Amazon has officially released the first season of the Kamen Rider Amazons for their Amazon Prime service.
And
It's got
it's called
Amazon Riders. This features
Good Enough.
episodes. What?
Good Enough.
I mean, yeah, it makes it way more brand, on brand for Amazon. It's like the problem that I have like is with the Masked Rider is like, where are they gonna go from this? If they bring other ones onto the service, are they just gonna be called like Amazon Riders X-Aid?
Oh gosh.
This features episodes 1 through 13 with English subtitles. It has been confirmed to be available on the US, Brazil, United Kingdom, Germany, and Mexico platforms at this time. This show was originally released only on Japan's Amazon Prime service back in 2016 and ran for 2 seasons, plus the new movie that's coming out. It will be seeing those movie released based on the 2 seasons, followed by a final movie that concludes the story on May 19th. So if you guys haven't already dipped out yet, that's what you should be watching if you haven't seen it yet. It's pretty fun. If you guys have seen like Kamen Rider the First and the Next, it's kind of like a spiritual successor to that. Which,
Except more people like it, I guess.
I guess, like I understand why people didn't like the first and the next, but I love that it goes from like an action drama to, in the second movie, it's a horror film now. I always thought that was really
I can
fun.
see why people would like that and dislike that. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. They're fun films, and I'm happy that the show is here. And I
Yeah,
don't,
absolutely. I'm very excited to see what the implications of this are.
again, Toku in the United States. Like, I think it's nice because some people are finally wising up. Like, you look at Power Rangers, and obviously it was a brilliant move to like buy it and make it over here really cheaply. But like, now that we can cut Saban the middleman out, I mean, if we start getting dubs on these, that's I think when it will really explode. Because there's some people that do not absolutely watch subtitles, which is crazy because those same people went to go see the movie A Quiet Place, which is like 90% subtitles, and loved it, but then they won't watch a Japanese movie with me. I'm like, oh, or whatever. But as soon as they start releasing these with dubs, I think that's when it will really kick off. If someone who has the forethought, or someone who is in power or has a lot of money in chat wants to do these, get a cast together, get a cast to dub these, and put it on DVD, license it. It'll go crazy. People will buy it up because they can watch the original series, and then they can watch it in English. It's easier to watch.
I also, I feel like it's also worth mentioning that this was supposed to be a thing that happened a couple of years ago, but it for some reason just never happened.
You mean
Now
Amazon's?
yeah, like being brought to the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
Like I remember hearing about that being a thing, and then you just didn't hear any follow up about it, and then suddenly this happened out of nowhere.
Well, what was going on in 2016 that maybe would have them second guess that?
The only thing I would think is that maybe they just weren't sure it would sell. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, like
But
you look at these last few years with like Shout Factory and Ultraman on Crunchyroll, like, I don't know.
but also I'm thinking like it's kind of interesting that this is happening after Saban has kind of left Bandai.
Yeah. Well, it's like when David Bowie died, and like all this righteous universal shit started falling apart, like our president and everything. Sorry. But like it's like there's all these things that like people like point back to, like the day that David Bowie died or the day that Prince died, like everything went to hell, you know? It's kind of like that. Like Saban sort of is sidestepping out of the picture, and I think that's opening the floodgates to a lot of other individuals and companies to kind of take advantage of that sort of opening, you know?
Yeah, I now that you mention it, I have no idea what the rights are with Amazon's.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to mention too, is like maybe they only had it as like, maybe like they did a deal with Japanese Amazons that they could only have it for X amount of months or years as like an exclusive, and now that they still have it, they're like, you know, fuck it, let's just put it on everything. And you know, you might as well. It's like 2 years old at this time. They're probably like, yeah, it's fine. Who's going to watch it? It doesn't matter. You know, they've probably already seen it, which obviously in hindsight, like all the fan subs and everything of it, like I've seen it. You know, it kind of takes away from that initial, like, oh, I could just watch it on Amazon Prime, which I have already, instead of like, I'm going to download it off of a fan subs, you know, site and watch it instead of officially supporting it, which I couldn't do. But now they're giving people that option, so I might rewatch it again on Amazon's Prime. Kamen Rider Amazon Riders Prime. Oh man, just to kind of give it one last leg in there. But yeah, it's cool. It's interesting. I wonder if they're gonna do season 2, or if we're gonna see it like next year again, like it's the 2-year shuffle.
I hope so, because aren't they like? Does season 1 end on the cliffhanger? I don't know.
Yeah, a little bit.
So they better.
Yeah, it's only episodes 1 through 12, and then they release. No, they just get rid of 13.
Oh jeez.
To get rid of the cliffhanger, but like then you don't even know how the season ends. Seriously, Japan. Like I'm speaking to all of you guys right now. Like your home media is expensive as hell. This is coming from a guy who used to buy Blu-rays directly from Amazon.jp at like anywhere from $40 to $130 a pop. Just because I loved Kamen Rider Double so much that I bought all of the Blu-rays, and then when they came out, like all the episodes on Blu-rays, I was thankfully smarter at that time and I didn't buy those. But if you had any inclination of like things that have happened right now, I would buy the hell out of this. If you made this available for purchase with English subtitles, or even like an English dub too, for like $50 Blu-ray, yeah, I'd probably buy it. If it had the dub, I would definitely buy it. But seriously, release the stuff over here. People will buy it. They'll eat it up. Look at how like sort of half-assed Shout Factory sometimes did some of the earlier ones, and they still sold like hotcakes. Like, I don't know. Just saying. Anyway, do you have any last thoughts on any of the things we talked about today?
I think it's really exciting to see this all happening.
Someone just put something in the chat. They should sell the drivers as well. Like at the end of every episode, it should pop up with an ad like, "Get your Kamen Rider Amazon Riders spelt today."
Well, Amazon is a shop, so they could do that.
Yeah, you know, I think the people that sell them are like third parties on there, though. But
and they sell them for crazy prices.
This is true. It's because they're their own.
They need an official one.
Yeah. God, there's so many possibilities with. Think about it. Like Shout Factory is technically a part of Amazon. Like they have an Amazon add-on service that you can pay like, I don't know, like I think it's like $4 or $5 a month, but you have access to everything on Shout Factory, meaning like all the Power Rangers, all the Super Sentai that they've done so far in a digital format that you could stream just like you're streaming this for just $5 a month. Like, so Amazon, I think is, I don't know, it's kind of cornering the Tokusatsu market, especially if this Amazon's does well, which you guys should at least just go watch the first episode. Let them know that you're interested in it. You don't even have to watch it. Just put it on and walk away. Come back 20 minutes later and turn it off. Just do it for everybody else. It doesn't cost you anything except for like maybe $1 or $2 in power. But I feel like if this takes off, it's gonna work so well that they're gonna obviously Netflix in Japan. I've talked with Tom Constantine, who lives over there, and he has like access to like old Kamen Rider shows on both Amazon and Netflix. So they're there already. They're already like HD files, you know, at your fingertips. If you use a proxy, obviously, yeah, you can acquire those and watch those. But I mean, it doesn't take a ridiculously long time to subtitle something. Especially if you already have all of the timing set from when the Japanese team went in and did the Japanese subtitles. You just have somebody go through and translate it, and you just plug it all in. If you already got all those files, you know, your job's half done. And you just put it up. Anyway, I'm so excited. They need to bring Kamen Rider here, because that would give me an excuse to watch it all. Melanis, did you
get the whole trinity of Tokusatsu?
Yeah. Oh man, and then they're gonna acquire Ultraman. And did you ever subtitle for like a fan group or anything? Or was I
No.
talking to somebody else? Okay, I must have been talking to someone else. Um, but like with this happening, I wonder what that's gonna do to some of these fan subbing groups, especially if they go the Crunchyroll route and release them an hour or two after air, like they do for a lot of anime shows. It'd be crazy
Well,
to. Oh, sorry. What?
I think some groups would have a lot more free time, or they could focus on other projects.
This is true. Like past ones that they haven't maybe got to yet, which is like Time Ranger. Like it, nobody ever finished Time Ranger, and now we have it on DVD. So like, ha.
Yeah, I remember Overtime was very slowly subbing Time Ranger, and now they just kind of have to drop it.
I was like looking a couple of months ago, because I have a server that I have like all my video on. I was trying to like find someone that had all of Time Ranger, and I noticed that Overtime stopped updating it around the time that they announced the second Shout Factory DVD set of Die Ranger. So they had the forethought of knowing, okay, this is going to be pointless in a couple of years. Might as well. Maybe that's just me. Maybe that's just me putting my own perspective on things. But
Oh, and also, on a similar note, Overtime has announced that they have deleted their torrents for Amazon's season 1.
good. Yeah. I mean, well, they're going to get in like legal trouble too if they still have them up. Like,
Yeah,
I know Grown
they
Ups and
just
Spandex did the same thing.
yeah, they have also clarified that they will keep season up for now,
Oh,
or season 2.
okay. Well, yeah, but it's not available yet, so might as well. But oh man, it's so crazy to like think like, especially like, are you familiar with like Funimation releases?
Oh yeah,
So like they do like My Hero Academia the same day it goes up. They have the dub of it in English. Like there's so much potential here, you guys. Oh, anyway, I want to give a shout out to Malinus. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today.
no problem.
And I want to shout out to everybody still here. Thank you for hanging out, or if you're watching this after the fact, thanks for watching.